Good morning. Happy Halloween, if it's Halloween when you're watching this. Today I have a message for you, and that is stop scaring yourself. I don't know if you do this, but I know all about it because I've been doing it for the last 3 weeks. And before, sometimes. It's something that I'm unlearning as part of my nervous system work, right? But because of this month-long migraine episode with really scary symptoms, I have thought a lot about this. So we're going to talk about that today, and today is going to be food for thought rather than food, because I was going to do like a pumpkin recipe again, but I decided not to do that because effort, and I think this is a really important topic because your mental diet is also important, right? Your mental diet can be just as important as what you put in your mouth, because if you're eating the cleanest food in the world and what's going on in your mind isn't healthy, then it's probably not going to work. So we got to do mind, body, spirit, right? So I have some tips that I've been working on myself that really help. There's this woman, her name is Louise Hay. You probably know her. She did some work on this, and her solution years ago, her solution was to take the scary thought and come up with an affirmation that contradicts the scary thought. There's basically the opposite of the scary thought. So whatever it is, you flip it, and then you just tell yourself that, and you just have to be really habitual about it. And every time you have that scary thought, you flip it around in your mind and you say the affirmation. And you just do it over and over and over. There's a new person that's new to me. Her name is Tara, and I can't think of her last name right now. Put it up there. She's all over YouTube right now. She's a neuroscientist, and she talks about the mind-body connection and just the connection between what you're thinking and what's going on in your life and how it translates totally. Like she talks a lot about manifestation and how it's a legit thing, and how very mindful of your thoughts can translate into your reality, right? Like, for instance, one thing I thought was so interesting, but not at all surprising, because I quit doing this so many years ago, is herself and no neurologist that she knows watches the news, because they know how toxic it is. And like, it's shocking. Once you don't do it for years and years, it is shockingly toxic. And you know this because you go to the airport and they're pumping this in, 24/7, and you're like, whoa, this is crazy. So I don't know if you're watching the news still, but it's a great idea not to do that. That's one way it just keeps you in this state of fear, right? Or anxiety. And, this part of your brain's like, but I need to know what's going on in the world. Do you really? Like, I love history, and so sometimes I'll pay attention to that stuff because I feel like history is happening and I want to know what it is, because it's exciting and interesting. But I realized it's just like poison. So if something happens that I need to know about that's urgent, someone in my life is going to tell me. I don't need to pump that in. So I'm trying to do the same thing with these other thoughts I'm having. So instead of scaring myself with these crazy symptoms I'm having from this migraine, I'm having symptoms that are weird and something I haven't had before, and they're neurological. So my doctor doesn't know what's going on and can't get me in with a specialist for months, right? So what am I going to do? I got on Google and I'm like, what can cause this? What can I do about it? That's my goal. It's like, what can I do about this? And I saw some really scary stuff. And in a way, it was like, okay, I'm just bracing myself for what could happen. But I also saw some stuff like what I can try to do to fix it. So neurology is a really weird thing. So I've been working on those things, and as an antidote to scaring yourself, and I know you do it too because I hear this from you. I hear that some of you do it, and I totally relate to it. I've gotten so much better with my nervous system work, alleviating anxiety and the fearful thoughts and stuff. But old habits die hard sometimes, and it's the symptoms. When my body's telling me something, I'm really good at this in other areas, but when it comes to medical anxiety, I fall short from where I want to be. Because I'm like, oh my God. And then if you let it run away with you, you start feeling every single thing in your body, right? Every little thing, like, oh my God. So this is what I've been doing to deal with it. Well, plus I've been kind of laid up because of the pain, right? So my self-care has been pretty intense for the last month. And one thing I did was I got to be around friends, and that just feeds my soul. Old friends I've had for years and years, where there's just a shorthand with you, and they're like family, and just having them in the house, it just immediately soothes my soul. And that was really healing for me. And of course I'm eating healthy, but I did eat pizza. I ate pizza. So we went to this restaurant that's phenomenal, has the best sourdough pizza. And I wasn't going to do it, but you know what? I just reached this point where I was like, I've been doing everything right, and this is happening, and I'm just going to treat myself. And so I was a little bit apprehensive about it, but I had the pizza. I had a pizza and a kale salad. Well, actually, I couldn't even finish 2 slices of pizza. It was so rich and filling to me, I couldn't eat more than that. And then the kale salad, and then we had some cauliflower. And I was really struck by how I felt like I'm enjoying the pizza, and I'm proud of myself for eating the pizza and not being afraid to eat the pizza, because we can screw with ourselves that way too. I don't want to be afraid of food. I do not want to go there. If I want pizza, I'm going to have pizza. We've talked about this a lot, about the pizza. This was my first time having pizza in like a year and a half. And my thoughts on this are surprising. It wasn't as delicious as I thought it was going to be. And I felt like, it was delicious, but it wasn't earth-shattering. And I kept thinking, I could have enjoyed another meal just as much as this. And that was really great to know that. So it makes me have less FOMO. Like, I'm not feeling all the time like, I wish I could pizza. Well, I wasn't doing that anyway, but it's not as big of a forbidden fruit, and it wasn't as satisfying as I thought it would be, though it was satisfying. It was like 9 out of 10, but it's still, I could have been that satisfied. Sorry, my stool makes these creaking noises. I could have been just as satisfied with a vegan, an more appropriate meal for my healing, but I'm proud of myself that I did it. And the other thing that I took away was no lightning bolt came down and struck me. Like, I was just like, I felt like a criminal eating the pizza a little bit. It was just like, is anything bad going to happen? Nothing happened. So I'm not going to make a habit of that. I'm still sticking to my once or twice a year mentality with this, but it was a positive thing to do. And it was so fun to be in that restaurant. I haven't been there, I missed it. So that was great. So feeding my soul with people that love me and that I love. I have been holding up in bed with movies and stuff, and I've been watching Halloween movies. And some of my favorite Halloween movies are Wolf. It's an old movie, but really, really good. If you haven't seen that movie, Wolf, it's so good. It's Jack Nicholson and Michelle Pfeiffer. It's so good. The special effects are a little dodgy, but it's a great movie. And Practical Magic and Bewitched. I like the cute ones. I don't like scary movies. I do not like scary movies. I won't watch that stuff at all. But the fun scary movies, like spooky fun, cute scary, I don't like anything, really violent or really... Wolf has a little bit of violence in it, but it's an overall awesome movie. Anyway, so I've been watching Halloween movies, and one thing I've done is backed off of caffeine. Caffeine cuts both ways. It can help a migraine or it can cause a migraine. It's a complicated thing. So I cut back. I'll show you. And I found something good, but if you have access to Trader Joe's. So this is my favorite tea. It's chai. It's Tazo chai. I make my own too. I make my own masala tea sometimes with the separate things, like the black tea and the ginger and the cardamom and all that. That's better. But this, when you don't want to go through all that, it's the best one I've found, and it's organic. And then this, we went to Trader Joe's, and I've been wanting to try this for years. It's not organic, so I never bought it before, but I really wanted an alternative to the caffeine. So I'm down to 2 bags a day in the morning. 2 bags, that's it. And then I start drinking this. It's so good. And Tazo makes, I haven't tried it yet, Tazo makes an apple. I'll link it below. That you have access to. This only at Trader Joe's. But this gives you like all the fragrance and feels of apple cider, like mulled cider, without any of the sugar. It's just tea. It's just herbal tea, no caffeine. So good. Because I find tea very comforting. So I'll make and I've been putting lemon balm in it. Lemon balm is supposed to help the nervous system. I can't tell if it's doing anything for me or not, but I've been putting lemon balm. You can't taste lemon balm, but I taste this. It's so good. And I'll link the other one I haven't tried, but I think has most of the same stuff. Because comforting yourself with a cup of tea, just the aroma alone, you're getting your aromatherapy, you're getting your comfort. It's so soothing to me. So I've been doing that. I've been really relying on the sensory things, essential oils, my cozy butter soft blankets, candles, whatever I can do to make the atmosphere pleasing and calming, I'm doing it. So if you are scaring yourself or do that, those are just some tips that are fresh in my mind because I've been doing it, but I'm doing it differently now. All the nervous system work I've been doing has really, really helped. I've been doing the breathing. I've been doing just some tricks and things that I've learned to calm my nervous system and try to keep things under control and break that moment where you could go into panic. You can stop it. And so I've been doing those things. Not that I haven't had some moments of panic, I have. But there's, your little toolkit goes a long way. So that's about it. I just wanted to check in with you. I wanted to wish you a happy Halloween or happy fall if you don't observe Halloween. Next week, I've already filmed that. It's going to be pumpkin chili. I made pumpkin chili, pumpkin curry, and lasagna. And I had all that in the fridge for my company. It worked out awesome. It was so great to have all that stuff ready made. They loved all of it. And it really took the pressure off. I'll link those videos below if you need some ideas for fall festivities. And they also commented that they really appreciated all the pumpkin stuff because it made it more festive. And it was just really good and so convenient because we were running around doing stuff. And it was just really nice to always have food prepared. So I'll link that stuff below. I hope you're doing something fun for Halloween and for fall. I hope you're enjoying it. And let me know in the comments, what do you do? Do you scare yourself? And what do you do when you're doing that? Do you have any tricks that you do to soothe yourself? What works for you? I'm so curious. This community, our little community, it's little, but everyone is so supportive here. And I know that if you wrote something in the comments, you would probably get support. Going through health stuff is really stressful, even if you're on the other side, even if you've gotten to where your symptoms have gone. It blows my mind that my autoimmune symptoms are gone. And well, it's possible this could be part of it. And it's also possible that I could have more than one autoimmune and I just don't know it yet. These diagnoses are really tough to get. There are blood tests and stuff, but it's tricky and complicated. Trying to get to the bottom of things, going to the doctors, just having that constant stress of what's wrong with you, it can take a toll on you. And so we all have each other. That's the purpose of this channel, is that we all have each other and we can support each other and give each other tips. I've gotten some great tips from you guys and I really appreciate them. And I'm not of the mind, when you've been dealing with something like migraines for as long as I have, you don't necessarily want to lecture, but I'm always open to because God knows I've tried so many things. But you never know when you're going to hear that one thing that you haven't tried that's going to change the situation for you. So I am open to that stuff. Yeah, drop a note. Tell us what you're dealing with so that we can support you. Tell us what you're afraid of, or how you deal with your fear, or how you are struggling with it. And we can all help each other, okay? So I will see you real soon, probably with more pumpkin stuff. Definitely the pumpkin curry. So that's coming really soon. It is so good. And even if you're not into pumpkin, you can, it's not super pumpkin-y. It just gives you all that nutrition from the pumpkin because it's kind of a superfood. So I hope you have a fabulous Halloween and do something spooky in a fun way. I adore you. I will see you real soon. Happy healing.